it's Sam again, and welcome back to my channel. And I thought today I would talk about a topic that I've been wanting to discuss on my opinion, and it is how to heal after somebody has destroyed you or hurt you. So this is a video that I have been putting off, but I got the intuitive need to share it. The technique that I have been using on myself is a little bit different than I find that has been used in the mainstream techniques for healing. And it's basically finding similarities within the person that has destroyed you. And the reason why it's so difficult for people to do that is because they want to feel separate from a person that has hurt them in order to avoid pain. So basically, if somebody hurts you or abuses you or calls you names or doesn't make you feel very good naturally, you're going to want to move away from this person and to protect yourself from pain. But that technique can only work for so long, because you're always going to run into a person that is going to either look like this person or smell like this person, or they're going to say something that's going to trigger something inside yourself. So basically, you're going to be running into the same person over and over again, just with a different name, if you get my drift. So let's say a girl goes to school and she gets bullied, and she goes to the principal or the head therapist, counselor of the school, and they start doing therapy techniques on her, saying, you know, all these people that are bullying you, they have low self-esteem too, so let's try to raise your self-esteem so that it won't hurt, Susie won't hurt your feeling, or Bobby won't hurt your feelings, or whatever. So I think that's a great way to an extent, but essentially it's only scratching the surface. So if you really want to heal after someone has hurt you or abused you or destroyed you, you have to find similarities within this person, or else you're going to come into contact with the same person, just with a different name. And the reason why this is important is because human beings are social creatures. We need each other to thrive. We are given a lot of emphasis in the world today for individuality, or what makes us unique, what makes us different. And so basically, what I'm seeing is people are together, but they're in these little squares. It's like a bunch of like Legos, and they're together, but they're not really connecting. So there's no sense of belonging, there's no connection, there's no it's a lot of isolation within a group of people. So this is really difficult for people, especially if there has been a lot of physical abuse or emotional or sexual abuse, because it's natural to move away from somebody that has hurt us. So something that has really worked for me is I have the ability to go put myself into literally someone else's mind and see how they think, see how they operate, the emotions that they feel. So felt like I was getting triggered by a group of people. So essentially, I put myself into this person's mind specifically that has hurt me, and I was able to discover how this person thinks, their emotions, how they interact with other people, past traumas that they had. So basically, I entered this person's mind, and I was able to understand that this person didn't really understand how to connect with somebody else because there was no energy being generated. So I had to ask myself, when was there a time when I felt this way? So obviously, if you're dealing with a sociopath or narcissist or psychopath, they're going to think very differently than someone that is in touch with their feelings and has emotions and has the ability to have empathy, things like that. So if you're working with somebody that doesn't have those things, you're more able to understand where they are coming from. So it doesn't make the hurt any less, but you come to more of an understanding instead of separating from this person, because eventually you're going to keep coming into contact with the same person with a different name. So essentially I was able to enter this person's mind and find a lot of similarities, and I found that this person struggled with a lot of emptiness. It was like being in a house there was nobody home, but there was that dense feeling like that of nothingness. But this person felt like this through a long period of time, and naturally when people feel like this, in order to generate an own internal energy or have a sense of vitality, I guess you would say, they have to project get that from someone else. And that's essentially how a lot of abuse happens to a point. People that don't have a good sense of selves will naturally latch on to people that are easy prey or nice people, because they have something to take. So this technique also really helps with people that struggle with either body image issues or body dysmorphia, because basically it's not just a women's issue, it's both men and women. But when comparing yourself to people that you feel are more attractive than you, or more prettier than you, or have a better body than you, you're naturally going to isolate yourself from someone else, or separate yourself from someone else who you think is better. So that is how a lot of eating disorders or body image issues, that's part of the problem, is people they feel that they are separate from someone that they feel is prettier or better, or there's a lot of other contexts that go into it, but it starts with comparison and not feeling good enough. So when I find that I don't feel like attractive, or I don't feel pretty, or I don't feel like I fall kind of into that I don't feel good enough, I find myself that I keep comparing myself to someone else or a group of people, so therefore I'm going to be separate from this other person. So what I like to do is I like to appreciate someone who I think is prettier than me, or better off than me, or smarter than me, and say, I have just as much qualification as this person does, I am just as pretty as this person is. I try to find some type of similarity between me and this other person, so that way I don't feel so separate and alone. So I thought that I'd share this video with you guys, and I hope that it was helpful, and if it was, I would love to hear it. And thank you so much for watching, and have a beautiful day. Bye.